Morning. Morning and welcome. I am Speaker Randall Hicks, and I call to order the Muscogee National Council pre-agenda, February 28, 2026. Time is 9 a.m. Invocation, I'd like to ask our representative from McIntosh District, Mr. Darrell Proctor, give our invocation, please. Amen. What will represent Proctor? Roll call, National Council Secretary Alicia Stroble.
Speaker Randall Hicks.
Present.
Cody Barnett. Present. Galen Cloud.
Delege.
Mary Crawford. Used. James Factor.
Delege.
Sandra Golden.
Present.
Laura Harjo King.
Present.
Robert Huft.
Present.
William Lowe.
Lega.
Anna Marshall.
Present.
Charles McHenry.
Delege.
Thomasine Osborne. Cody Phillips.
Delege.
Darrell Proctor.
Lega.
Lucian Tiger III.
Present.
Robin Whitecloud.
Present.
You have 15 present, 0 absent, and 1 excused.
15 present, 0 absent, 1 excused. This constitutes a quorum. All business conducted will be official. Agenda review, Health, Education, and Welfare, Chairman Charles McHenry. Thank you, Representative McHenry. Land, Natural Resources, and Coastal Preservation, Chairman Galen Cloud.
Speaker, no additions.
Hello, Mr. Cloud. Business, Finance, and Justice, Chairman Lucian Tiger III.
Thank you, Speaker. We have no additions.
Hello, Representative Tiger. Down to other business. Nominee interviews. This morning we have 2 to conduct. Our first will be with Miss Andrea James for Election Board. Miss James, if you would, please come down to the podium. April, is that ready to go?
Good
Good
morning.
morning, Miss James.
Good morning.
Ms. James, we have received your resume and it's been shared with the full council. So at this time, I'm just going to allow you 5 minutes to share any information you wish with the council.
Okay. I'm just trying to think back to it's been almost 5 years since I took office, and we've tried to do a lot of work on revamping the Title 19
James,
code.
can you step up to the mic or pull the mic to you?
Sorry. Tried to revamp the Title 19 codes, still going back through those and working on those again. So we may be bringing those forth in the future to have you look at them. We've gone over our policies, procedures, updated all of those. We've continued to look at new ways to get voters interested in voting, to get more voters registered to vote. It's not so much that we don't have enough voters registered to vote, it's that they won't go and vote. So we're trying to see what are the issues that we can do to try to enhance the voting across the nation. One of the things that we've recently put out in the last month is a survey to try to ask and say, are you involved? Why are you not involved? And what are the issues? Do you trust the system? And just try to find out where we have issues, where there's gaps, and what we can do on our part of it to fulfill those. Other than that, I
Good? Okay, that's fine, Ms. James. Council, do you have any questions for Ms. James?
Speaker, I have a question, Speaker.
Representative Lowe.
Good morning, Ms. James. Thank you for
Morning.
being here. Great resume. You know, one thing, I agree with you that, it's troublesome to see how less of our people are voting. And I would say as a governing body official, how many election events or new voter events have you been to within those 5 years?
I have been to, I've been to all of the actual elections and worked those. Voter events, outreach programs, I have not been to. I've been to one, I think. Part of the issue there was my job didn't allow me to travel. I've since retired. So I'm just waiting for the opportunity to go.
Outstanding. Thank you so much. Thank you, Speaker.
Thank you, Representative Lowe. For the record, Representative Crawford did join us online at 9:05 a.m. Representative Golden.
Thank you, Speaker. Ms. James, thank you for your being on the election board for the past 5 years.
Almost.
You said that the election board has been working on the policies and procedures,
Yes, ma'am.
and I guess that's for the board that works every day to have policies and procedures.
That is for the election board, and it does pertain some to the office staff.
Okay, so when is the last time that you worked on the policies and procedures for the people that work, the staff?
We reviewed policies and procedures at our last regular meeting, which would have been on the 9th. The items that are coming up now, because we've gone through them so many times, are being very specific to things that we've come up and said, okay, this may be an issue. As far as, did that address staff? Not at that point in time. I think it still addressed election issues, which does pertain to staff and what they do with what their roles are in the middle of the election process.
So what's the policy and the procedure on deceased individuals that are on the mail list?
I'm sorry, I didn't understand that question.
Policy and the procedure on the mail list for deceased individuals?
Yes, ma'am. They go through that, and every time they are notified by one of the other programs, they remove those individuals. An audit was just finalized right before our last election, and that audit took over 2 years. That removed multiple deceased people that have been on that list. We continue to, every month, you see more and more of those dropping because we're getting notifications on those.
So, well, okay.
Representative Golden, I do know that there is a meeting going to be scheduled soon to address that with the departments and the election board. I just sent an email the other day. FYI.
Would you repeat that, Speaker? What were you just saying? What was you saying? There's gonna be a meeting?
The question that Representative Golden had asked is about the deceased. And I know, Sarah Barnett,
Yes, sir.
election board. She and Chief, and they just sent out an email just the other day that they're going to set up a meeting and try to, with other departments, and try to figure out a way to get the deceased off the list.
Thank you, Speaker. With that, I have questions for Ms. James. Good morning, Ms. James. How are you?
Morning.
Thank you for being here.
Thank you.
Question in regards to the policies. Currently, is the election board working on the policies and the issues that were pointed out during the last election?
We have discussed some of those, and we're continuing to look at the possibilities of if they could actually be feasible, if we could work them that way. I know that you and I spoke on different ones, and I have brought those up several times, and we've continued to look and say, is this a possibility to do this way? We have a list of things that we're continuing to go back over and review. It's a long process, and of course, some of them we agree on, some of them we don't agree on. And so when it comes to a vote, they don't always get through. That's just the nature of the way it works. But we are, to answer your question, yes, we're continuing to look at those issues.
Thank you, Ms. James. Thank you, Speaker.
Thank you, Representative Tiger. Representative Marshall.
Think that we've gone around this mountain before in relation to the people who are registered to vote. And we've talked about the possibility of incentives being used to get people to the polls on the day of the election. Have y'all discussed that anymore? I know that there's some rules that you can't do. There's some things you can and cannot do, but have y'all explored any other creative ideas about how we can get the folks to the polls to vote?
I know that it's been discussed that we cannot legally reward them for voting. I know on the survey, the rewards for that survey and what will be given out, I want to fill out the survey. Pendleton blanket is up there. I mean, so those to get people talking, those rewards are good. The incentives to go vote, that's just it's an issue where what's legal, what's not legal. And so, yes, we continue to look at those because we do have several board members that bring it up frequently. And so it's not something that's not getting talked about or discussed.
I know that a few years ago, Holdenville, the community did an incentive to try to get people to vote more at least in Holdenville. And for some reason, our native people really like T-shirts.
Yes.
I mean, they will do anything for a T-shirt. And
Thank
so
you.
they gave out T-shirts, but they had to show their voter, the little sticker. They had to show that before they got the T-shirt. And that was probably one of the elections that we had a lot of folks show up to vote. And so maybe that's something that y'all might want to discuss with CRND about the possibilities of the communities getting involved in getting people to the polls as
Yes,
well.
ma'am. Yes, ma'am. I think that would be a good thing. If it's legal on their side, I think that would be wonderful. Like I said, we're just continuing to try to look at anything to get them to the polls, to actually exercise that right to vote.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Speaker.
Thank you, Representative Marshall. Council, Representative James. Factor.
Do you happen to know how many new signups or anything we got from that outreach event that you had at Coweta the other night?
I'm sorry, I didn't understand.
Do you know how many new signups we had at Coweta the other night from that? You guys had an outreach event out there the other night.
Yes, he gave us an update on outreach. He gave it to us on the 9th, though, so we wouldn't get those until the next regular board meeting. If he's here, I can find out before I come back up to talk to you.
Good, Mr. Becker. Okay. Council, any more comments, questions? Hearing none. Ms. James, thank you for your information you shared. You'll be on the 10 a.m. regular session agenda for your vote.
Thank you all for your time.
Our next interview will be with Ms. Nalani Ching for District Tribal Court. Good morning, Ms. Ching.
Good morning.
Ching, same thing. We all have received your resume and it's been shared with the council. So I'll allow you 5 minutes to share any information you wish with the council, and then I'll open it up for questions and answers.
Thank you. I like T-shirts. I just want to tell you that right up front. I appreciate that idea. That's a great idea. Also, very nice to see Judge Haskins. Thank you. And thank you again, Representative Factor, for sponsoring my legislation. I was born in Honolulu, Hawaii, a very long time ago. I'll answer a couple questions about that real fast. Yes, I miss it a ton. I miss the food. I miss the smell, the air, the ocean. I miss the people. Did I mention the food? Because I really miss the food. I want to go back, absolutely. Unfortunately, I have a husband and a brand new grandbaby that are probably going to prevent that. I went to St. Francis High School in Manoa, Hawaii. My very first job was at Chuck E. Cheese. I was, in fact, Chuck E. Cheese. It was miserable. That costume was hot and heavy. That kind of taught me that I probably wasn't in a position to want to work with children in an uncontrolled environment. I went to the University of Hawaii for 2 different degrees, as you see on my resume, bachelor's degree in sociology and a master's in social work. I did that while working at the university. I did that while working at Halava Correctional Facility. While I was at Halava, I was the facility classification coordinator, and we got put under a consent decree by the federal government that said we had too many people. We packed up a bunch of inmates and sent them to Oklahoma. And I teased them at the time. I said, you guys are going to Oklahoma. Nobody goes to Oklahoma. And here I am 20 some odd years later. And I love it. I do love Oklahoma. I went to Oregon, worked in community mental health, did emergency psychiatric holds there for a while, moved to Florida, did community mental health there, decided I should not work at Child and Family Services when they were losing children thought that was kind of a bad idea. So I decided one night after a couple glasses of wine to apply to the University of Tulsa School of Law. Brave decision at that point. They accepted people 3 times a year. My father had just been diagnosed with Parkinson's and Alzheimer's, and I knew my mother was going to need some assistance. And social workers do not make a lot of money. Silly me thought that as a prosecutor, I was going to make money. That didn't happen either. Did law school in 2.5 years while flying back and forth to help my mother with my father. That was difficult, but I loved law school. It was great. $100,000 in student loans, did not love, but got through that as well. My dad died while I was in law school. I took a position here at the district attorney's office in Tulsa. Also went to the district attorney's office in Muscogee, handled crimes where I prosecuted crimes against children, MS-13, UAB, rape, robbery, you name it. I was a supervisor there. Loved Tulsa, but got recruited to go to Muscogee and stayed there until I went to the Eastern District of Oklahoma, right before a case you may have heard of called McGirt. That was an interesting time. I left and opened my own law firm, which has been amazing. It is a successful firm. It is a hard job, but nothing in my career has been harder than the job I've done for the last year for the Muscogee Creek Nation. Being a judge wasn't something that I thought was going to be as difficult as it has been. The idea of balancing people's rights and keeping the community safe and making sure that both sides are getting a fair and adequate shake is much harder than I ever thought it would be, and it sometimes keeps me up at night. I don't take due process and the safety of the community lightly at all. And it bothers me sometimes how difficult I find it to be. So there's that. I think I said I'm married. He's great. He's very grounding, keeps me very oriented. And then the last thing I want to tell you is that you have a great judiciary. You have great people working there. Your judges care, which is a lot more than I see in some of the other jurisdictions that I practice in. And they're dedicated to this community. So if you don't know that, I want you to know that. Whether I'm part of this or not, you've got a great, great judiciary. So I'm happy to answer any questions.
Thank you, Ms. Ching. Council, you have any questions, comments? Representative Lowe.
Thank you, Speaker. It's more of a comment. Judge Ching, thank you so much for all that you've done for the tribe. And, you know, it's great to read your resume and just fully support you today. Thank you so much. Thank you, Speaker.
Thank you, Representative Lowe.
Very kind of you. Thank you.
Representative Golden.
First, thank you for your service.
Oh, thank you.
In our Muscogee district, we hear a lot regarding people that are adjudicated, I guess that's the word, that come through our system. And they say, well, our police force pick them up and they come through our courts. And then we see them on the street in a couple of days.
Mm-hmm.
So we're just letting them out because we have no place to put them. And so, you know, I don't know what to tell them because I really don't know how our courts are working. And so one of the things that we deal with is we don't really have jails. And we really don't know what what they're being charged with. And of course, drugs are really hard, really bad in our communities. And I just would like for you to talk about what some of the issues are that you have to deal with as a judge.
Well, first, I'd welcome to have any of you at any point in time. If you want to come in on a Monday and sit through any part of the docket, please do. It is enlightening, and you've nailed it on the head. Drugs are an issue. And I do feel like a revolving door sometimes. I have people who come in and say, first thing in the morning, hey, Judge Ching, I mean, they see me and I know that they're going to be getting out that same day because I don't feel it's appropriate to hold someone in on a disorderly conduct when it's costing us $75 a day. And we're not going to provide them with any services, quite honestly, that they don't want. Drugs are a huge problem. Drugs, domestic violence, education, jobs, all of those are huge issues, but getting people into those services has been really difficult. We simply don't have the resources. We are a revolving door. And incarcerating people with mental health, incarcerating people with substance abuse issues doesn't seem to be the right answer. And so, yes, I do let them back out. I do. Not when I feel it's going to be a danger to them, but yes. And if you have any ideas on that, please let me know because I am more than open to hearing anything we can do to help this community with that issue.
Thank you, Representative Golden. Council, any more comments or questions? Hearing none, Ms. Ching, thank you.
Thank you.
As well, yours will be on the 10 a.m. regular
Thank you.
session agenda.
Appreciate your time.
Thank you. Hey, Council, that takes us down to announcements. Do we have any announcements? Regular session will begin at 10 a.m. Any other announcements? Hearing none, adjournment.
So moved.
Representative Tiger made a motion to adjourn, seconded by Representative Lowe. All in favor signify by saying aye.
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 All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Meeting adjourned 9:22.